Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're here, chances are you're thinking about buying a used car. And trust me, that's a smart move if you do it right. But here's the thing. Buying a used car can either save you thousands of dollars, or it can turn into an absolute nightmare that drains your bank account for years. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most important things you need to check before you hand over your money for a used car. These are the exact checks that professional buyers and mechanics use, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to walk into any dealership or private sale with confidence. Let's get right into it. Number 1. The service history. This is probably the single most important document you can ask for. A complete service history tells you the real story of the car, not the story the seller wants you to believe. Ask for the service book, or if it's digital, ask for printed records from the dealership or garage. What you're looking for is consistency. Was the car serviced at regular intervals? Were the timing, belt, oil changes, and brake fluid replaced on schedule? If there are huge gaps, say 3 or 4 years with no service records, that's a major red flag. It usually means the previous owner neglected the car, and neglected cars tend to have hidden problems that show up right after you buy them. Also, compare the mileage on the service records with the mileage on the odometer today. If the numbers don't add up, walk away. That's a clear sign of odometer fraud, and unfortunately, it's still more common than you'd think. Number 2. Bodywork and paint condition. Before you even think about the engine, walk around the car slowly and look at the panels from an angle, ideally in daylight. You're checking for 2 things: accident damage and rust. To check for accident repairs, look at the gaps between the panels, the doors, the hood, the trunk. If the gaps are uneven, or if one panel looks slightly different in color from the rest, that's usually a sign of bodywork after a collision. You can also run your hand along the edges of the doors and check underneath them. Fresh paint or filler often feels different from the factory finish. Rust is another big one, especially on older cars or cars from regions with harsh winters and road salt. Check the wheel arches, the underside of the doors, and, if you can, get underneath the car and inspect the chassis and the exhaust system. Surface rust on visible parts is usually not a deal breaker, but structural rust underneath the car can be extremely expensive to fix, and in some cases, it's simply not worth it. Number 3. The engine and all the fluids. Start with the car cold, if possible. Ask the seller not to start the engine before you arrive. This way, you can hear how it sounds from a cold start, which reveals a lot more than a warm engine. Listen carefully. Any knocking, ticking, or rattling noise is something to investigate further. Check the exhaust for smoke. Blue smoke usually means the engine is burning oil. White smoke can indicate a head gasket problem, and black smoke often points to a fuel system issue. Then move on to the fluids. Pull out the oil dipstick. The oil should be a clear amber or light brown color, not black and gritty, and definitely not milky, which would suggest coolant is mixing with the oil, a serious and costly problem. Check the coolant level and color too, and take a look at the brake fluid and power steering fluid while you're at it. Clean, appropriately colored fluids at the right levels are a great sign that the car has been looked after. Number 4. The test drive. Never, ever buy a used car without driving it first. This step alone can save you from a world of problems. During the test drive, try to cover different types of roads if possible. City streets, a highway, and if you can, some bumpy or uneven roads to test the suspension. Pay attention to how the car brakes. It should stop in a straight line without pulling to one side. Listen for any clunks or knocks over bumps, which could indicate worn suspension components. Check the steering too. It should feel smooth and responsive, without excessive play or vibration. And don't forget the transmission. If it's a manual, The clutch should engage smoothly, without slipping or a strange biting point. If it's an automatic, the gear changes should be seamless, with no hesitation or jerking. Finally, test all the electronics while you're driving, and while the car is parked: air conditioning, heating, windows, mirrors, infotainment system, and all the warning lights on the dashboard. If any warning light stays on after starting the engine, ask about it immediately. Number 5. Documentation and a full history check. This is the step most buyers skip, and it's the one that can save you the most money and heartache. Before you finalize anything, run the car's registration number through a vehicle history check service. These reports can reveal whether the car has been in a serious accident, whether it's ever been declared a total loss, whether there's outstanding finance on it, or whether the mileage has been tampered with. Also, make sure the person selling the car is actually the legal owner. Ask to see their ID and match it against the registration document. If you're buying from a private seller and something feels off, mismatched paperwork, a rushed sale, pressure to pay in cash immediately, trust your instincts and walk away. So, to quickly recap, check the service history, inspect the bodywork for accident damage and rust, examine the engine and fluids, take a proper test drive, and always run a full documentation and history check before you buy. Follow these 5 steps, and you'll dramatically reduce the risk of ending up with a lemon. Buying a used car doesn't have to be stressful. It just requires a bit of patience and the right knowledge. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more car buying guides, and let me know in the comments what car you're currently looking at. I read every single comment, so drop your questions down there, and I'll do my best to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.